Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Operation Freedom Briefings. The goal of these briefings and my weekly radio show is to provide information to you the bought-off lamestream fake media will never provide. If you want to stream Operation Freedom, you can. The show airs every Sunday out of the People's Republic of Ann Arbor on Wham Talk 1600 from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern. Just go to davejanda.com and you can stream the show live. In addition, we have an entire platform at davejanda.com with great content. We have a free content side and we also have a premium service content side where we provide several shows during the week to supplement the information we present on our Operation Freedom Sunday show. Now, today's topic is going to focus on what happened in Florida and the 13 Russians who were then indicted, just coincidentally, about an hour after news broke that the FBI had ignored information that could have prevented the killings in Florida. Headline from Zero Hedge: shock, anger after Florida teen charged with 17 counts of murder, FBI was warned. Yeah, the FBI was warned on September 25th, 2017 by a YouTube vlogger who noted that there's a kid talking about shooting up a high school in Florida, and his name is Nikolas Cruz. He contacted this fellow, Benite. He contacted the FBI and told them, and they followed up with him and said, okay, we'll try to check into this. Turns out that the FBI said they couldn't find this kid, Nikolas Cruz, even though he used his real name on the YouTube. Odd, isn't it? And then it came out, just this past week, that in fact there were some people in the community close to Nikolas Cruz had also contacted the FBI hotline and told them about the fact that they were concerned that Nikolas Cruz was going to shoot up the school. Now look, my bag in medicine was focused on prevention. This was a preventable situation. Several dozen innocent children and adults died at the hands of this goofball that could have been prevented by the FBI. But the FBI was too busy working on their frame job of Donald Trump and Michael Flynn. Let's face it. You know, you had Strzok sending, 50 texts an hour to his squeeze in the FBI, Lisa Page. They were too busy texting each other about how they were going to overthrow a duly elected president of the United States. That's just an example. They were consumed with trying to overthrow the election. And while they were doing that, they let this guy underneath the radar that ended up killing several dozen innocent Americans. And don't you find it odd that about an hour after all this broke about how the FBI blew this whole thing in Florida, all of a sudden Mueller comes out with these 13 indictments of Russians who were using Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to meddle in an election. Oh, come on. Pot calling the kettle black? What about the United States? Just look at Libya. Well, what do we do there with good old Barack and Hillary? Oh, that was a great deal, right? We went in there, we not only overthrew the government, but we had Gaddafi murdered. Oh, that's a real metal job, isn't it? I mean, if we're gonna prosecute individuals for tweeting, using Facebook and YouTube. By the way, it not only went to support Trump, but their efforts went to support Bernie Sanders and Jill Stein. And also, when this Rosenstein character, who's eye deep into this collusion issue of trying to undermine the duly elected president of the United States, Donald Trump. When Rosenstein, actually, it's odd that he presented this, but when Rosenstein presented this, he said, yeah, this didn't affect the election. Oh, yeah, right, it didn't affect the election. But if we're going to hold those 13 Russians, by the way, we don't have an extradition treaty with Russia, so what are we doing here? We can't even bring them back to prosecute them. This is all show. This is a nothing burger. It was meant to, if you will, distract people from what really was going on about the incompetence of what happened with the FBI down in Florida. But let's look at this a little deeper. If we're going to prosecute these 13 Russians or indict them, shouldn't Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and the Bushes also be indicted for our involvement in what we've done in all these other countries? And by the way, if the FBI could track these Russians to lead to indictments, they can't track a kid in Florida who, on YouTube, is threatening to shoot up schools? The hypocrisy of this is incredible. The FBI, and the people involved in what happened in Florida and happened in Washington has done a complete disservice to every American. Every American. Every American was put in harm's way, not just those 24 innocent victims in Florida. 320 million Americans were put in harm's way by the FBI ignoring legitimate information to protect Americans, and also on this rampage they went on that is reminiscent of something from a third world banana republic in trying to remove a duly elected president of the United States. Look, you don't have to love Donald Trump. You can hate Donald Trump. The bottom line is, look at the process here. This is beyond unconstitutional. This is treason. And every single one of these people need to be held on treason charges. Bottom line. We go into further depth. This week we have John Perkins on our Insider Insight show at davejanda.com. John Perkins is a former economic hitman. His role through the United States government was to go into countries, bankrupt them, then steal their natural resources. And if a world leader opposed his efforts, that, as he stated, that jackals were brought in to assassinate that leader. You need to listen to that interview. John Perkins, the economic hitman. I encourage you to go to davejanda.com, check out all our content, and as we add in every segment, dream big and dare to fail.